Hi, I'm Nate with Average Jack Archery Pro Shop and Range here in Phillipsburg, PA, and AverageJackArchery.com. And today we're looking at the all-new Elite Victra, the brand new target offering from Elite Archery. It's replacing the Verdict, a long-time standing target bow from Elite. So let's see if it stacks up or outperforms it. The Verdict has been part of Elite Archery's target lineup for several years now, and Elite Archery was due to replace this system. Now, it's far from outdated, but we knew when we started seeing some different cam systems in the SPX and the SPX2 cam system that we saw on the Artis and the Carbon Eon for hunting bows for this year, that we knew that there was probably going to be an update to the target lineup, and we have it with the Victra. So first and foremost, just comparing apples to apples here before we dive into all the things that you see that are new for the Victra for 2025. You still have a similar axle to axle length in that 37 3/4, 38 length. You still have around a 7-inch brace height, 7 1/8 for the Verdict, 7 for the Victra. You still have all of the set tuning technology that you get from the Verdict has come over, and of course it's on all the Elite bows as well. You still have the exact same style grip. You still have the LTR and the tunable roller guard, limb locking, all the stuff that you've come to expect in a quality target bow that came from the Verdict and into the Victra. However, the Victra then has some massive upgrades, or at least some different upgrades, to bring it into the more modern target archery world. We saw it last year with the launch of the Exalt and the Exalt LD, the integration of the Picatinny style mount on the limb pockets. That has come over now to the target lineup, and I'm actually holding this bow up here with the limb leg system, the RAC limb leg system that you can get from Elite. So if you want to run this with that integrated system, you can leave it on. You don't have to take it off or have some other sort of kickstand that could possibly cause the bow to fall over. Like I said, you still have the LTR, but everything else in here is wildly different. You have the integration feature for the QAD. So if you want to run the R2, the MX2, or the TRI, the blade rest for target archery, you can definitely do so. And you now have the Picatinny mount on the front. This is, again, all stuff we saw on the target bows that launched in 2024 for the 2025 season has now come into the target bow as well. We also have an interior yoke system that we saw with the brand new SPX and SPX2 cam here. But this splitter is not a fixed splitter like we saw on the Carbon Eon and the Artis. This splitter here has the adjustment with a micro tune splitter. That's what Elite's going to call it, and it's going to allow you to adjust the timing of your bow on the fly, no press required. The micro tune splitter system is fully machined aluminum and allows you to then have a little adjustments I could call a quarter twist adjustment that you can't get when you actually put your bow into the press. Now, if you're wildly out of time, a twist, 2 twists, 3 twists, that's not going to save you, but it definitely is going to allow you to micro tune exactly the timing of your bow to make sure you get also not only the bow in time, but also to make sure you get the feel that you want. Some people like their top cam or their bottom cam just be a little bit ahead or behind of the other one. I personally like them hitting dead at the same time, but if you want to micro tune that feel, you can do it right here with the micro tune splitter. Another added benefit of the interior yoke system is that it allows you to eliminate any sort of cam lean. Now, usually on cam lean with the longer axle-to-axle platforms like the Exalt, LD, and the Verdict before it, this really wasn't that big of a deal in terms of having the cables rubbing. Some people claim they had that issue. I've sold and worked on and shoot plenty of Elites. Never once had that problem, but people did comment about it, and so they adjusted on the hunting bows, which are shorter axle to axle, and definitely could struggle with that if you really threw the bow out of whack. But here on the target bow, they've also incorporated it, and it really allows to have a clean, universal package across the entire lineup that eliminates any of that cam rubbing. Just like all the target bow offerings from Elite, this will come stock with the smooth mods. Now, unlike the target bow offerings of the past, in the Verdict especially, the smooth mod or the performance mod also had the option to have a limb stop. That went away with the hunting bows with this interior yoke, because when you bring that limb stop around, it touches the inside of the yoke and you can't have that limb stop on there. So even though this is the smooth or the performance, you can only shoot the Victra in cable stop only, which is still how the vast majority of target archers prefer to shoot. I don't know very many. I'm definitely one of them that does shoot a limb stop style target bow, but it still, I've found found that even without them, I shoot my Ethos, the hunting bow, without limb stops, and I find the back wall to be beyond amazing. Still very firm, and particularly the higher in the let off you get with the hunting bows, you still get a really firm back wall. And I prefer to shoot all my hunting bows and target bows around that 80 to 85% let off. I just find that holding weight works really well for me. So I have no qualms about this not offering a limb stop anymore. Probably the nicest thing for me as a shop owner and as someone who works with a litany of different target archers from small to big like me is that this bow is significantly lighter than the Verdict before it. You're talking over 1/3 of a pound difference. The Verdict had a sticker of 5 pounds. I actually found it was a little bit heavier than that, which for a target bow is fine, but the Victra comes in at 4.7 pounds, and in the longer 37 3/4 inch axle to axle length, that 4.7 pounds feels a lot more dispersed. It feels much lighter, feels much more like a hunting bow. They've also changed the riser geometry a little bit, so they've actually been able to eliminate some of the riser. You notice this bow is not as parallel as the Verdict or some of the hunting bows. It has more of a little bit more pitch to the limb pocket, still is able to give you that axle to axle length then, but you're not going to have as much mass weight. I'll be interested to see once I set this bow up. This bow is for me. I'm going to start shooting it and getting ready for the ASA Classic down in Coleman. We got a few weeks away yet from that, so I'm very interested to put some arrows out of this bow and see how it feels with that shorter riser, but also that shorter overall weight. Elite is also offering 2 brand new colors for 2025 for the Victra. I'm sure we'll eventually go over to the hunting bows as well. A beautiful red and kind of like a hummingbird pink color. So if you're into colored bows and you're tired of what Elite has offered in the past, they're not for you, and you're looking for kind of a red or kind of a pink to really add that color pop when you're out in the range, you can absolutely have at it. I'm a big Henry Ford guy. You can have any color you want as long as it's black. So sorry it blends into my background, but this is definitely the bow for me. So that's all for the Victra for 2025. Once I have this bow fully set up and that video also launches, I'll put that down in the description below. You're welcome to check out both as I get this ready for the tail end of 3D season, heading down to the ASA Classic in Coleman, Alabama, and I'm sure a ton of indoor spots over the winter time. If you have any questions about the Victra that I don't answer in this or that video, please do drop a comment down below. You can always find us on Facebook and Instagram at Average Jack Archery. You can find us on our website, averagejackarchery.com. And if you want to come check out the Victra for yourself, you can see us at 21 North Front Street in Phillipsburg, PA. Hope you're able to get outside, enjoy the sport of archery hunting if you so choose. Definitely enjoy God's beautiful creation, and we'll get to see you next time.